Goon Squad on 1. 3, 2, 1. Goon Squad. Welcome in, everybody. We're here tonight to do a Superflex mock for you. We got the viewer league coming up, so we wanted to get a mock out there so everybody can kind of see what happens in a Superflex mock and a 12-team 1-2. We got Gabe here. We got Tyler Hans, who's been doing a couple episodes with us tonight. Special guest, so it's been awesome.
Thanks for having me.
Levi, your host, and Damien, obviously. So let's get into it here, guys. This is Superflex, like I said. It's the same settings we have for our viewer league. 1 quarterback, 2 receiver, 2 running back, 1 tight end, 1 regular flex, and 1, super flex. No defense, no kicker. You know we don't like that stuff. And 7 bench. So, all right. To start off the draft, I'm going to go Patrick Mahomes at super flex. I think he has the most value. You could arguably make a statement here for CMC, but I want to lock down my quarterback position early.
You're good on my screen.
All right.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with. We talked about it in our last video. You know, high upside with the rushing quarterbacks. I'm gonna go Kyler Murray here. I think there's a lot of weapons in Arizona, and I don't think you go wrong.
Again, both of you guys, super flex. I'm locking down my quarterback, and I'm gonna go Lamar Jackson, pick 7.
I'm sorry, just to reiterate, I'm the number 1 pick. Damien's the number 4 pick. Hans is the number 7 pick, and Gabe is the 12th pick.
Coming here on the turn, it's obviously a snake, so I get 2 back to back. I'm gonna go ahead and lock down a quarterback position here. I like this kid here, younger kid. I'm gonna take Justin Herbert, and then I'm big on this. My next pick, I'm not going quarterback here. We always talk about great or late on tight ends. In the turn, I'm gonna take Travis Kelce.
All right. All the running backs go off the board. Kamara, J-Tay, Dalvin Cook, Derrick Henry, Ezekiel Elliott, Saquon, Nick Chubb. The good receivers here, Devontae Adams, Tyreek Hill.
Other than quarterback, my other position I like to lock down early is running back. Aaron Jones, Eckler, Harris, Gibson. I'm going to go the young back in Pittsburgh. I like what I've seen in preseason with Najee Harris.
I'm gonna definitely lock in my quarterbacks right here for sure. To pair up Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson is
nice.
It's insane.
Yep.
Yeah, you can.
Oh, man, I wanted George Kittle right there. It didn't happen. I tell you what, though, I am going to lock up a running back right now. I'm going to take Antonio Gibson. Oops. Okay, that worked nice. And then I'm going to take my other quarterback. I'm going to get him out of the way. I'm going to take Aaron Rodgers. So I got Patty Mahomes, Antonio Gibson, and Aaron Rodgers. I did want to go Darren Waller there, but it kind of didn't work out. So,
and I'm going to go. I want to go Joe Mixon. I think Joe Mixon is going to have a decent year. And we talk about, I think everyone thinks he misses a lot of games, but last year was really his first season where he didn't play a lot, so I think he's going to have a good year.
All right, Calvin Ridley, DK Metcalf go off the board.
All right, again with Superflex, I'm going to grab my other quarterback because if you look right now, they're falling fast. So I'm going to go with the GOAT TB12 here. I think he replicates what he did last season with everyone returning.
Justin Jefferson, A.J. Brown, Joe Burrow, DeAndre Swift go off the board.
Right, being that I took quarterback and tight end, I'm going to lock down my first running back here. I'm going to go ahead and take Clyde. And since I waited so long at running back, I'm going to double up and take my running back, so I feel like there's a lot more depth at wide receiver later on, so I'm going to make sure I get at least 2 good running backs out of the way here. And I think I'm going to take David Montgomery.
Matthew Stafford, Josh Jacobs, Kyle Pitts, Terry McLaurin go off the board. Tyler Hans is up.
I'm going to grab my next running back. I think Seattle's offense is really going to turn it up this year and go back to their old ways of how they started in the beginning of the season. I'm going to go Chris Carson, lock up my running backs and quarterbacks early.
So Hans' team right now is Lamar Jackson, Najee Harris, Tom Brady, Chris Carson. You can see he's really going quarterbacks and running backs heavy. That's a staple for Superflex, and we feel like running backs are a staple in drafts to get them early.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And right now, I'm not a fan of some of the running backs that I can get right here. So I'm going to go with a guy we've talked about. We think he's going to have a big year, CD Lamb.
Yep. Mike Evans, Allen Robinson go off the board. I think Robinson was good value there. I have Patty Mahomes, Antonio Gibson, Aaron Rodgers. I would like to take a tight end here. I think I'm going to go Mark Andrews. That's kind of like my last area of the later great tight ends.
I like him this
on that
year.
4th round turn there.
They're hurting a lot at receivers. So
I'm on this 5th round swing. I'm I'm going to swing for the fences, go Myles Gaskin, and kind of lock up another running back. I think he has a chance to have 1,000 yards rushing this year. So
Yeah, I like him a lot.
Trevor Lawrence, Kareem Hunt go off the board, and Damian is up. His team is Kyler Murray, Russell Wilson, Joe Mixon, and CeeDee Lamb.
Yeah, so I'm gonna go with. Let me look. I want to say it's a reach, but I like Robert Woods probably the most, just because I like the quarterback situation. I think there's too many mouths for Chris Godwin right now. I mean, I'm sure he'll have a great fantasy year, but I think Robert Woods is gonna have a higher upside.
I'm going to go wide receiver as well. I'm going to go DJ Moore here in Carolina. I think he has the potential to be a top 10 to 15 fantasy wide receiver this year in Carolina.
TJ Hawkinson, Miles Sanders go off the board. Ryan Tannehill, Amari Cooper, Chris Godwin, Jamar Chase. Gabe's up. His team is Justin Herbert, Travis Kelce, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and David Montgomery.
I'm going to go ahead and start. I think I'm going to take my first wide receiver off the board here. And I'm going to go ahead and take... I'm going to go Cooper Kupp. I think he's still predominant in the slot. I think Matt Stafford's still going to find him a lot, and I think he's good value there. And then I'm going to lock up my second running back, a guy I like, and then I knew that I could wait for instead of going earlier. I can get him later in the round like I am now. I'm going to go take Baker Mayfield.
Darrell Henderson, Julio, Adam Thielen, Matt Ryan, all go off the board. Hans is up.
I'm going to go wide receiver as well. Again, I'm going to take Tyler Lockett here. With the new offensive coordinator in Seattle, I think Lockett and DK Metcalf are going to eat this year.
Deontay Johnson, Devontae Williams go off the board.
Yeah, so I want to take my running back, and he is one of our goons. I like Mike Davis this year a lot.
Yeah, that was a good pick. James Robinson go off the board. Mike T go off the board. The receivers, I need a receiver desperately right now. I'm going to go T. Higgins. I think he has a nice floor this year. And then I am going to lock down my third quarterback. It is round 7 in a Superflex league. I am going to lock it down, though. And I'm going to take a little riskier of a pick and go Justin Fields. You know, he's got that upside this year, and I have 2 solid, safe quarterbacks. My receivers are going to hurt, but my quarterbacks will be able to make up for it throughout the season. Kirk Cousins, Chase Edmonds go off the board. Damian's up.
So I'm going to take I think he has his upside has gone up a lot over the last few days to a week. I'm gonna take Damian Harris right here. I like him a lot. I think he's gonna have a good year.
It's a nice rebound pick in the middle rounds here.
Yeah.
Kenny Galladay, Brandon Ayuk go off the board.
I got my 2 quarterbacks, my 2 running backs, and my 2 receivers, so I'm going to go tight end here. Not a big fan. He's been hurt last year. He's hurt again this year. Quarterback situation's a mess. I'm going to go with Mike Gesicki out of Miami. He was with Tua last year. With him again this year. I think he'll have a good season.
Chase Claypool, Tua, Dallas Goedert, Noah Fant go off the board. That was a good pick by Tyler there, taking a tight end, a little mini tight end run here.
I'm going to go ahead and lock up my third quarterback just as Levi did. And I'm in the same boat. I feel like I have 2 confident quarterbacks that I know can start and hold me over. So if my third quarterback, I'm going to take Trey Lance. I like the upside, and I think he will be a starter eventually this season. And then since I only got 1 wide receiver here, I'm going to go and take another wide receiver. This one's going to be a little of a reach, but I know I won't get him if I don't take him now, and I sort of like him better than the top options here. I'm going to go ahead and take Robbie Anderson.
I like
Solid pick in the 8th round there, yeah. A good floor. OBJ, Cortland Sutton, Trey Sermon, Devontae Smith go off the board.
So, right here, I'm going to go back to running back, and I'm going to go with... I'm going to take Mostert. I talked about in an earlier episode about Sermon. I do really like Sermon, but I already have 2 running backs. Mostert's just a guy there I can maybe plug him into a flex if I need or for a bye week.
You
So
might want to get those first weeks out of the way with him before he's hurt for the last 9.
yeah, I'll use him early.
Everything's starting to go down. I like, if I'm going to pick anyone right here, I think, excuse me, DJ Chark. I like him. He's going to be the number 1 there.
Melvin Gordon, Ronald Jones go off the board. It is the 8th, 9th round's turn here. I do need a receiver very desperately. I'm going to go Juju. It's the 9th round. We talked about Juju kind of having that 7th, 8th round ADP. I think the 9th round is a good value for Juju right now.
Definitely.
Whoops. And then to kind of lock up another running back here, I was looking at...
Yeah, there's definitely not much to look at these later rounds. So
I'm sorry. I was...
That's
there
the
it is.
outlook. That's the outlook for quarterbacks and running backs, I think. In
Yeah.
drafts like this,
Yeah.
it gets slim.
Excuse me. I am going to take Michael Carter. I know he's kind of buried on the depth chart right now, but with my running back situation only being Myles Gaskin and
Anthony Gibson.
Antonio Gibson, I kind of want to back him up a little bit here, so I am going to take Michael Carter. That's wrong. That shouldn't be like that.
That's who I'm taking next. That's
Yeah,
what
that
I'm gonna
should
say.
be like that.
I normally wouldn't
it's
take
me.
another running back, but
So Tyler just found out, and I just saw it. I don't think Sleeper updated their rankings yet, but Gus Edwards is ranked like 95th in running backs.
wow.
Obviously, that's not the case. He's gonna go in the 5th, 6th round. Just so you guys know, it is a mistake.
scrolling,
So
like,
All right, I'm up, and I'm gonna take a wide receiver who I think is gonna have. I think he's gonna continue to build off of his year from last year. I'm gonna take Debo Samuel.
Leonard Fournette, Daniel Jones go.
So, yeah, normally I wouldn't go back-to-back running back here, but with him still on the board, you can't pass up Gus Edwards. I actually think he has a higher ceiling than J.K. Dobbins did because J.K. Dobbins had Edwards behind him. Now that J.K. Dobbins is hurt, there's no one really behind Edwards.
I'm going to take running back. I'm going to have Clyde and Montgomery. The running back's a little slim right now. So I might go ahead and, what am I going to do here? Yeah. Oh boy. Like possible or single bust. I'm going to go ahead and take a hand now. And I'm going to go ahead and take, we just talked about an earlier episode. I think with the pass catching availability, I think he might be okay. I can plug him in. I'm going to take Naeem Hines. And then I'm going to go ahead and take my third wide receiver here. A guy I really like. I'm going to go ahead and take Tyler Boyd.
10th round swing here. Logan Thomas, Zach Wilson, Gronkowski, Will Fuller go off the board.
I'm going to go for a wide receiver I have in 2 other drafts, and that's Antonio Brown. I think he'll actually finish above either Evans or Godwin this year. That's my hot take.
All right, round 10.
Jarvis Landry, Sam Darnold go off the board. Damien's up.
Yeah, this is tough.
Yeah, we get into the hard selections of the rounds. This is why we like to do these mocks with you guys. So you kind of see who we're taking in the later rounds. It's hard to determine sometimes. You know, you talk about these sleepers. We're looking for guys with good upsides but still have a good floor.
Yeah.
And it really depends on how you're building your team. If you have a couple guys with good floor, talk about Allen Robinson and, you know, even if you had like CMC, Allen Robinson, another receiver with a good floor, then you can kind of take those high upside receivers in the later rounds like a Jalen Waddle or Antonio Brown has that huge upside this year, you know.
Yeah.
So you can kind of bet on those guys a little bit.
I'm gonna go Jamal Williams. I think. Yeah, I like Jamal Williams, especially with Swift. We don't know what his injury status is.
Yeah, and this is why I always take running backs early and receivers late because Michael Pittman, Mike Williams, Corey Davis sitting here in the 10th, 11th swing. I'm going to go Corey Davis. He's got a clear path to targets this year. He's been a favorite of Zach Wilson so far. And then I'm going to double down and go Michael Pittman. He's got a huge potential this year. T.Y. Hilton, that neck injury, it's going to linger.
Yeah, I agree. So I'm gonna get my third quarterback right here. It might be a little high, but I'm high on him this year. I'm gonna go Jameis Winston.
Zach Moss, James Conner go off the board. Tyler is up.
I'm going third quarterback as well here. I'm going to go Derek Carr. They added Kenyon Drake. You have Waller, Edwards, and Ruggs are in their second year. I think he could have a pretty good season.
I'm going to go take another wide receiver here. I like him. I think it's good value right now. I know I won't get him if I don't take him here. I'm going to go and take Darnell Mooney.
Yep. It was so obvious.
Yeah, it's a good pick. It's a good pick. 11th round. It's a good sleeper.
And then I'm going to go back to running back. Being that I'm a little short there after my starting 2, now is where I start taking my handcuffs that I know might be something. And they have that, the floor might be low now in the late round, but I think it's higher potential throughout the year as we go on. And I'm going to take a risk here. I'm going to go and take Sony Michel, recently acquired by the Rams. I think he fits in well, and he might give push to Henderson.
Elijah Moore, Michael Gallup, Johnny Smith go off the board.
I'm going to take my second tight end here. It's a little bit of a reach, but I'm going Gerald Everett. Earlier in the season, Pete Carroll
That's our goon.
Carroll has said that this is the most athletic tight end that they've had there since he's been coaching. So.
Wow, that kind of.
I was taking him.
I was taking him right there. Now I'm at the point of tight end where it's disgusting. So I'm gonna keep riding the wave and just go somewhere else. I'm gonna go J.D. McKissick out of Washington, pass catching back, high upside.
good handcuff as well.
Yeah,
if,
yeah,
Gibson
very good
goes
handcuff.
down.
Yeah, I'm at the same point where I'm going to take a flyer on a running back here and take Gio Bernard. I think he's got pass catching ability this year, and I'm also going to take James White, who's got another pass catching back. Now that Mac Jones is starting, I think he has a chance. My running backs are kind of slim, so I'm going to make up for him here and throw some darts up. McCole Hardman, Henry Ruggs go off the board. Damian is back up. And just a reminder out there in your viewer league, we have a limit of 3 quarterbacks, so none of us are obviously going to draft over 3 quarterbacks. So,
Yeah, I'm gonna go with where is he? It's getting later in the draft, and we talked about this guy earlier in the episode. This is Levi's big wide receiver, Amon-Ra St. Brown,
13th round, that's
Can't
such good
beat it,
value
yeah.
there, yeah. So,
So I'm gonna take this guy. Basically, could be trade bait or an RB1 if the starting running back goes down. He's looked really good in the preseason. I'm gonna go Chuba Hubbard out of Carolina.
Yeah, he looked really
He's looked really good.
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead, later round, I'm going to go ahead and throw my dart here. Hopefully the young receiver pays off. We've talked about him before. I'm going to go take Terrace Marshall.
yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
pick. 13th round there.
And then I'm going to come back and get my backup tight end here. And this is a guy, a hometown guy for me. I'm going to go ahead and take Zach Ertz. Wasn't talked about much this year, but he just did come out and say that he was sticking with the Eagles, so I think he still has a little bit of value there.
Rashard Bateman, Latavius Murray, Ramondre Stevenson, Tevin Coleman go off the board. Tyler is back up.
I'm going to go with probably the wide receiver that has got the most hype in the preseason. He showed a strong connection with just named
Yep.
starter Jameis Winston. It's going to be Marquez Callaway.
Good
from
pick
New
there
Orleans.
in the 14th round.
Yeah.
Some people might be a little higher on him. He might go a little earlier in drafts, just so you know, guys. But that was great value for Hans there.
Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the tight end out of New Orleans, Adam Troutman. I like him. He unfortunately he got hurt, but what's nice about this pick is I can put him on the IR, and that frees up another roster spot for me, so
Yep.
I can go out and get another tight end
Yep.
if I need to.
I'm going to pick up our rookie we just talked about, Baby Gronk. I'm going to lock up my second tight end here. And then I'm also going to take another receiver. I do like Bryan Edwards a lot this year. I think he has a chance for some targets. 5 to 6 targets a game. That could translate to some good fantasy value. So, Xavier Jones, Cole Beasley go off the board. Damian's back up.
Yeah, and I'm gonna be a homer here. He's gonna be the tight end 1 in Minnesota. I'm gonna go Christopher Herndon. He shows some upside receiving ability. Especially with Irv Smith going to be out for most likely the year.
And you see how Damian didn't take a tight end, and then he went great or late. That's our strategy. He went the last 2 rounds, took 2 good sleeper guys, Chris Herndon, Adam Troutman.
Yeah, and what's nice though, like I said earlier, Troutman, what I can do with Troutman was put him on the
IR,
IR,
and
and I
pick
can
up
go
another
pick
tight
up another tight end just in case this guy doesn't work out.
Yep.
Last round, I'm going to go wide receiver. New quarterback in New England. I think this guy could end up being a safety blanket for Mac Jones. I'm going to go with Jacoby Myers and with
That's
my
a
final
very
pick.
good pick.
They just took my handcuff.
Damian Williams, Boston Scott, Darrell Williams, Jalen Rager all go off the board. Gabe is up for the last pick of the draft.
Mr. Relevant. Who's it going to be?
Well, I was quoted up. I had Damian Williams queued up because I do have Montgomery, but I'm gonna go another route here. I'm gonna take a guy I like that. His floor is gonna be low, but I think he has goal line availability. I'm gonna take Malcolm Brown from Miami.
I like it. And if we look at it, Mac Jones went undrafted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, we just talked about
Yeah.
that.
I don't think that'll
And
happen in
that's in
other
a
leagues,
super
but
yeah.
flex
Yeah.
league, too.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
Let's go over the teams real quick. I ended up with Patty Mahomes, Antonio Gibson, Aaron Rodgers, Mark Andrews, Myles Gaskin, T. Higgins, Justin Fields, Juju Smith-Schuster, Michael Carter, Corey Davis, Michael Pittman, Giovanni Bernard, James White, Pat Freiermuth, and Bryan Edwards. I went quarterback early. My running backs kind of slipped a little bit, but that's okay because I think my quarterbacks are going to carry me. And then Superflex, Damian, you want to go over your team?
Yeah, so I got Kyler Murray and Russell Wilson. Got my quarterbacks out of the way really quick, and then I like Joe Mixon. I think people are sleeping on him this year. I think he's gonna have a good year, hopefully a healthy season. And then I went 2 wide receivers. I got CeeDee Lamb and then Robert Woods. And then I got my next 2 running backs at Mike Davis and Damon Harris. Got DJ Chark, Deebo Samuel, and I got the handcuff in Detroit, who could be at RB1 for a couple weeks, in Jamal Williams. Then I got my guy I like a lot, Jameis Winston. then I got another handcuff running back in McKissick, and then a guy we were probably waiting for a few weeks on as well was St. Brown, and then I rounded out later grade. I went late on my tight end, so.
So next up was Hans. I'm sorry.
Yeah, first round I wanted to lock up my quarterback. I took Lamar Jackson. Followed that with Najee, and then went another good quarterback in Brady, and then another mid-round running back in Carson. I got DJ Moore, who I think has huge upside this year in Carolina, and Tyler Lockett, who's the number 2 guy in Seattle. Tight end, I went Mike Gesicki. I think he's a good safety blanket for Tua if he struggles this year. Flex, I went Raheem Mostert, but more than likely starting the season I'd put in Gus Edwards. Then I took AB, who I'm huge on this year. Actually, AB only played half the season last year, and he had 40-some catches for 400 and some yards. So if you double that, he could have been a 1,000-yard receiver if he played a full season last year. I love him this year. Gerald Everett, freak athlete in Seattle again. I think their offense is going to explode. Derek Carr got upgraded weapons. Chuba Hubbard, that's a late-round stash if McCaffrey goes down again. McCaffrey ain't going to struggle. We all know that. And then I took 2 wide receivers. Marquez Callaway, who has huge height, has a connection with Winston already, and Thomas is out. And then I took Jacoby Myers, who should help Mac Jones transition into being a starter in New England.
Gabe, you want to go over your team?
I started out with Justin Herbert, and then I took my I went with Travis Kelce at pick 2 to get my tight end locked up. Coming around, then I got my running backs out of the way. I took Clyde and David Montgomery. Took my number 1 receiver, Cooper Kupp, and then got my second quarterback out of the way. You can wait a little bit sometimes and still get someone of good value like Baker Mayfield. Then after that, I came back. I took my 3rd running back, Trey Lance, a good young rookie. I think he will start sometime this season. And then came back, got Robbie Anderson, Nyheim Hines, I like the pass catching availability. Then we got guys like Tyler Boyd, Darnell Mooney, both guys who can contribute, and I got them in the later rounds. Sonny Michel, Terrace Marshall, throwing darts, hoping that the ceiling's high for them and later in the season. Got the backup tight end Ertz, and then I took Malcolm Brown. That's just a goal line flyer. Might not ever play him, but if he turns into something, then
Gaskin could
Yeah,
get hurt.
Yeah. And we all kind of took a little bit different of approach. You know, I went quarterbacks early, running back early, and my receivers are a little later. Damian and Hans kind of took their receivers a little earlier compared to me and Gabe. Gabe went running back, tight end, quarterback a little earlier and waited on his second quarterback. So you guys can all look at our teams. We're going to post this on Facebook so you can look at the overall draft and see how, how our teams differ and what you think. We'd love to talk to you guys about it. Comment, share, like, please, at @FF_Goon Squad. As always, thank you guys so much. We appreciate all the love and support so far. Our Faceless Wonders, he's here. James Rapinski, our audio and video producer. Comment if you do want to see his face, but we can't guarantee anything.
And just remember, find your strength.
Find your
We
strength.
all have it. You just need